What's up guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full-length review on the wireless Go 2 microphones made from Rode. This whole video I am using the wireless Go 2, so just so you know, every bit of audio that you hear coming out of my voice is from the new wireless Go 2 microphones. Also, I've been using these microphones for about 3 weeks now. I shot a TV show with it already, with the TV show that I produce. And the first thing I want to get out the way, and the first thing you have to understand in my opinion, is these wireless Go 2 microphones are not even close, not similar, not in the same league as the first generation wireless Go microphones. These have way more features, they do a lot more, and there's a lot of things that you need to know about these. It's not just adding a second microphone. There's a lot more features to these Rode microphones than just adding a second receiver. So with that, I want to explain to you guys that I have used the Sennheisers that everybody talks about. I've used these for shows, I've used the Rode Rode's for shows, and I've also used the wireless Go first generation for shows as well. I have 3 pairs of these. Well, I have one, my boss has 2 sets. The wireless Go 2 are mine, but I use it for the TV show now. So it's going to be very important further into this video why I explain to you guys I've used all of these different microphones. You're going to want to stick around and see why I even mentioned that I've used all these microphones for the TV show. So with that, the first thing I'm going to get out the way really quick are the specs. I'm going to run through them really quick. It has 7 hours of battery life. The receivers and the transmitter, they all have 7 hours of battery life. I can attest that it at least has 5 because I shot a show Monday and they lasted 5.5 hours and they did have 30% battery life left. It don't show a percentage on the screen, but it looked like it was 30%. I mean, it wasn't red yet. Also, these are USB-C on every transmitter and every receiver. It's USB-C. The analog inputs are all 3.5 millimeter TRS jacks. That's awesome to know. So the frequency range is 50 Hertz to 20 Hertz. It also has a maximum input level on the 3.5 millimeter jack of 20 dBV. And the computer connectivity is USB-C, obviously, because these receivers and transmitters all plug in USB. So with that, I'm going to tell you what comes in the box. It comes with 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, 3 furry windshields. Like if you want to use not a lapel microphone, but if you want to use the receiver itself, you could put on the windshield and it'll block out some of the wind. I've never used this as a microphone. I've always used my own lapel, which I will link below as well. Also, I will link these if I could find them on Amazon, because they have been selling out pretty good. I will link these down in the description along with the lapels that I use, or lavaliers that I use. It also comes with 3 USB-C by USB cables, which are going to be very important, so you definitely want to know that. Further in the video, you will know why. And it also has a TRS to TRS memory cable, which is nothing but the 3.5 millimeter jack cable that usually comes with lapel microphones. It does come with that, and it also comes with a carrying pouch, which is right here. It's kind of long, but it does come with it. So that is what comes in the box. So with that, I want to go over some of the features that the receiver has. It has a LED screen where you can see everything that you're doing. When I jump on the computer, I will show you more about the LED screen, but it does have a really cool LED screen. You can see that you're connected, you can see your battery life, and you can see your gain controls. It also has a USB-C connector, which we already talked about, a 3.5 millimeter TRS output, a gain control, and a mute button. And it also has a merge split mode selector, which I will explain a little further in the video. I know I keep saying that. Features of the transmitter is it has a built-in mic, which I just talked about. It also has a battery indicator LED, and it also has a connectivity light, so you know when you're connected. So with that, another feature that I really like and I really think is important for every lavalier microphone that don't have interchangeable batteries is these will let you charge it as you're using them. It could be powered on, and you could plug in a USB-C to a little bitty old battery, which I have here. I'm sure you're seeing some of that B-roll. You could plug it in, put it in your pocket. If you get small enough battery, you could go another 8 hours and you're good to go. So you can literally last up to 12 hours or more. It depends on how big of a battery you want to carry around. But if you just get a small battery, plug it in USB-C to USB, you're going to be able to go at least 10 to 12 hours on a single day, which is awesome. So that feature don't seem like it's that big, but that is really important to be able to charge while you're using it. Another feature that this Rode Wireless Go 2 has that the first generation did not have, and actually a lot of lavalier microphones don't have, is it does have a second receiver. And what I think is so cool about it is your transmitter could plug in directly to your camera with one cord, and you're getting two channels, left and then right. And then that one cable separates your two channels, which is really cool. Before I had these, I had to use two cables and it was just all over the place, and I didn't like it because every time we shoot a show, we do have two microphones, one on the guest and one on the host, and then it records left and right. But with this, you could just plug in one little cable, you were good to go. You don't have to be fighting cables. Of course, you have to have your headphones plugged in, monitoring the audio, but that's just one less cable that you're gonna have. So that is an awesome feature. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the features of why these microphones kill all the microphones on the market, including the Sennheiser, which everybody praises. I mean, all of these, it's onboard recording. Each receiver has its own little hard drive in here, and it records as soon as you turn it on. You could either set it to record whenever it connects to the transmitter, or you could set it to record immediately when the power's on, which is important. It'll do uncompressed audio for 8 hours, and it'll do compressed audio for 48 hours. But the compressed audio is fine, just the uncompressed audio is really high quality. So you're probably wondering how you do that. I'm gonna jump into the computer in just a second and show you how to do that. But first, I'm gonna tell you why it's so important that it has onboard audio. Some of you guys might not even know or think of why it's so important, and it's because a lot of times when we're out on the water, or I mean it could be anything, I'm just gonna give you my examples. When I'm out on the water, I'm shooting with the camera A camera, which is a Canon C70. I'm monitoring the audio with my headphones, all of that. Sometimes the audio cuts out. Let me tell you why. Sometimes I gotta get on the other boat, which I do have a camera B guy, but sometimes I gotta get on the other boat to get some angles while he's getting slow motion. And sometimes if we go too far away from the other boat, it cuts out. What happens when it cuts out? We can't use that audio. But with these, all we have to do is dump all the footage off of these, and what's cool about it is it marks where the receiver hears a cutout. So if it hears a cutout, it's gonna mark it red. So it'll be super easy to find, and you know, while you're editing, super easy to find the red mark. Go ahead and export that out, and then it'll be marked for you on a timestamp with a red line. All you have to do is replace that audio with the audio that was on the hard drive, the receiver hard drive, and you're good to go. That is why it's so important. Every one of these have cutouts. Every one. These Sennheisers have cutouts. These Rode Links have cutouts. The first generation has cutouts. The only difference in these is it's gonna save it on a hard drive in here. It's gonna be smooth, crystal clean audio. It's never gonna cut out. It might cut out from the camera, but it's not gonna cut out from this hard drive because it's internal. Wherever you go, I mean, I could sit here and hit record and fly to Mexico, and it's still gonna be recording. I can come back and it'll have red lines everywhere because it ain't gonna reach, but I still have audio. So with that, I'm gonna jump into the computer. I'm gonna show you how all this works, how you can get the onboard recording. I'm gonna walk you through everything, screen record, and show you all the features that the transmitter has and that the receivers have. Okay, so now that we're on the computer, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the computer and show you everything that you could do with these receivers and transmitters. Okay, so literally the first thing you have to do is plug your USB into your computer, USB-C into the receiver, and then you're gonna see it pop up on the computer as you do here. Here's all of my recordings. See, I told you 5 hours and 30 minutes. This is how long the recording was. I don't think we had any dropouts that day, but I'm gonna show you if we did. It'll be red. You'll see a red line that will indicate the dropouts. I don't think we had any that day, but I think I do have one here that we did have some dropouts on, maybe not. Like I said, the distance on these are way better than the first generation, or any that I've ever used, to be honest with you. The one that I have on has a few dropouts on it, but I don't think this one does. But either way, it'll have a red line. See how this is a brown line right here? It'll have a red line that will not move. going down, indicating that there was a dropout. Then all you have to do is hit export. You have all these formats, which is only 2, but you could do, your bit rate, all this good stuff. And just to demonstrate how to get to all these cool features is you hit your settings right here. And then, I have it set to always on, but remember I was telling you about backup. That means it'll only work when the transmitter is running. Here's this one right here it'll take some of the high down. It'll make sure there's no clipping going on. I have it on off because I do everything manually. And then LED light, and then right here is the button on the receiver. You could set it to do whatever you want. You could set it to be markers, set it for mute, but I have mine set to none, simply because if the host accidentally bumps the button, which never happens, but if something accidentally gets bumped, I don't want it to mute and then mess everything up. That'd be really bad. And the one bad thing about this recording, which really ain't bad, is the only way you can delete a clip is by deleting them all. You can't delete just one at a time, and you'd have to delete them all right here, and it would delete all of them. So yeah, that is how, whenever you do backup, it gives you the option to either do uncompressed or compressed audio. When you're on always, it's compressed. I mean, it's uncompressed, I'm sorry, it's uncompressed, so it's the best. As you see, I have 6+ hours remaining. It's because I already have all of these hours used up. So yes, that is the features. That is why, in my opinion, it's better than all of these. The sound quality is uncompressed whenever it's recording internally. It's great quality on this camera, as you hear right now. I mean, my room is not made for sound and it still sounds decent. So with that, I'm gonna actually plug in the transmitter and show you what that's like. So let's get into that now. So as you see here on my screen, it lets you, these are some of the controls that you have. I just leave mine like this, where I could just control the gain simply like that, which I'm sure just messed my audio. I have it on merge now because I'm only using one, but if you do this, it will start recording 2. It also has a safety channel. Let me explain why a safety channel is so important. So you know how this thing can record right and left, 2 channels, but if you're only using one of the Wireless Go 2, you could have one that's a little higher, so whenever you're whispering, it'd be real nice, crispy, and within that range. And then you could have one that's set a little lower, so when you're yelling and screaming, it won't peak and get out of control. So that's why the safety channel is so important, and that's why it's so awesome. And then your backlight button, you can set it to do whatever you want. I have mine on the backlight, but you could also set it for marker. But obviously your transmitter is not gonna have any recordings on there because there's no hard drive in there. So this is it, man. These are way cooler than I ever thought they ever could be. When I bought them, I honestly thought all they did was give me an extra receiver. That's all I thought they did. I thought they gave me an extra receiver and that was it. But no, it does all of this, which is so important and is so awesome. And when you're out there filming and you're getting paid for your work, you do not want any audio problems. That will get you fired in 2 seconds, is having audio problems and explaining to them, oh, I don't know what happened to audio. You will never get hired again. So speaking from my experience with these, they're phenomenal. I mean, I really don't have to say much. I showed you all the features. All of the features work great. The one thing is whenever you buy them, you're probably gonna have to do a software update, firmware update immediately, which literally takes 2 seconds. Super easy. Do the firmware update and then it will let you do all this cool stuff. If you don't do the firmware update, then it won't even let you do any of this. But my experience with these microphones have been awesome. They sound good. I did use them for a TV show, like I said. They lasted 5 hours and 30 minutes and the battery still had plenty left on all 3 of the devices. So yeah, definitely go pick you up some if you're in the market for them and if it's within your budget. If not, the Wireless Go 1st generation are good, but if you have the extra $100, it's definitely worth just to get these. It will save you in the long run. So with that, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification, and I'll see you in the next video.